Fox 35 News.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Ever wanted the excitement of training side by side with cops? A local police department is ready to let you do it if the price is right.
It's 10 o'clock. Now, Fox 35 News at 10.
Tough economic times call for creative measures, and a local police department has one very interesting idea.
I want to welcome all of you to Citizens on Patrol. Citizens on Patrol.
You, the citizen, paid to train with the police.
Do we get to pack heat?
Actually, yes, you do. But do cops and civilians make a good match?
We're calling you McLovin. McLovin. Let's do this dance, boys.
Turns out, they just might.
All right, the Daytona Beach Police Department is launching a program modeled after one that's used by New York City's police department, a potential big money saver for taxpayers.
Yes, for a price, citizens can actually work with police officers and learn how our finest do their jobs every night. Tracy Jason live at the Daytona Beach Police Department. Tracy, don't go too far with that vehicle. How's it going to work? And is there a lot of interest so far?
Hit the siren.
Well, I'll tell you what, you sound pretty interested. You know what? You've seen reporters just like this ride along in squad cars with police. And here's the deal. Now citizens can do the very same thing, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you $250. And if the police chief here at the Daytona Beach Police Department has his way, well, you're going to chip in a little more too.
You've seen the action on Fox's Cops, and now you can be a part of it for a price.
You have the community coming together and saying, we understand. The leaders are saying there's a way to raise money to make this a viable program.
The Daytona Beach Police Foundation is the group that raises funds for things that fall outside salaries and benefits. Things like equipment, training, and additional education. Things that have been all but squashed by the economy.
They cut it out of the budget. There's no educational monies.
So this is a taxpayer saver, too.
Absolutely.
The foundation's latest fundraising effort will allow those who pass a background check and screening process to pay $250 to learn to shoot a gun at the shooting range, train with canines like this pup just paid for by the Police Foundation, or ride along with police as they do their job. Citizens can currently do a ride-along, but Police Chief Chitwood promises much more bang with the $250 payment.
This is a police chief that thinks outside of the box. And when you think outside the box, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's worth a try.
But when you look at scenes like this, you gotta wonder about potential liability issues.
You're not going to go out with a SWAT team and kick the front door in or be armed with a gun. You're going to step back, just like the media if they come out with us. The same constraints.
And former Police Chief Richard Weinblatt, now known as the Cop Doc, says liability in this case would be minimal with the signing of a waiver.
Is it worth the risk for us, the taxpayer? Because at the end of the day, if there's a lawsuit, then we'll end up putting the cost in one form or another.
Well, it's worth the risk because law enforcement needs to reach out to the community. The other option is, let's raise your taxes. Which one do you think you're going to pick?
All right, and there it is. In New York City, by the way, where this program has been in action now for 30-some years, we're told it's not uncommon for a citizen just back from a patrol to actually pay the $250 and then kick in, say, a $50,000 or $100,000 tip or donation, if you will. Of course, you don't have to, but if you did, imagine the number of equipment pieces and the amount of education that could be purchased. Sunny?
Well, yeah, Tracy, and I guess in some ways you could say it all goes back to the community if they have better equipment to serve them. Let me ask you this. What's the public response been so far on this program? Because it does seem quite unique.
It is relatively unique, and we're curious about that, but the information is actually being disseminated just this week, so no one has actually signed up just yet. But we did speak to some people off camera who had the same sort of legal and ethical concerns that our Cop Doc did. But you know what? These are unique times, like the Cop Doc said, and perhaps unique measures are needed. Sunny?
Tracy Jason live in Volusia County. Tracy, really interesting story. Thank you. By the way, 80% of the Daytona Beach Police Department's budget goes to human resource needs like salaries and benefits. So there's not much left over for any needed additional equipment, education, or training.